Bungie just dropped an article. All right. Developer Insight Economy and Rewards Update. Changes to ritual rewards. Starting in Season 22, we'll be making some changes to post-match rewards for ritual activities, strikes, crucible, gambit, and through examination of player feedback, we know the cadence of drops for recently added weapons to these activities is sometimes inconsistent. We all want to play with the new toys when they are available, and that's what we are aiming for with these improvements. So starting with Season 22, players will be more likely to receive ritual engrams upon completion of activities within ritual playlists. Secondly, rather than having to wait for the next season, new ritual weapons will be able to be focused on the respective vendors starting as soon as they are added to the game. We want players to have greater agency in the rewards they are chasing and reassure that the time spent within these activities yield exciting rewards, even if getting an unexpected god roll after a crucible match is a nice surprise. All right, so Season 22 Weapon Rewards. Since we're talking about the weapons available for Season 22, well, why not list some of them? Crucible, Unending Tempest, Stasis Submachine Gun, Strikes, Lunar Regolith, the Solar Sniper Rifle, Gambit, Quas of Fan 5 Void Machine Gun, Nightfall, Warden's Law, which is a kinetic hand cannon. It's also the aggressive two-fire hand cannon that Bungie is supposed to be reworking. Because the thing is, Warden's Law, even though it had really good rolls on the weapon, its ability to land both of those shots as crits was terrible. Normally, even if your reticle was on point, one of them would land, the other one wouldn't. So you're just cutting your damage in half. Alice 4, the Solar Precision Bow, Iron Banner, the Guiding Sight, Strand Scout Rifle, Point of the Stag is coming back, Arc Bow, it's actually a very good bow, Trials of Osiris, Igneous Hammer, Solar Hand Cannon, Cataphract GL3, Strand Heavy Grenade Launcher. You'll notice right away that we are bringing back a certain type of hand cannon and actually making it a new archetype, something that was alluded to in our previous Developer Insight article. We'll have more information to share about it very soon as tomorrow, actually. Okay, so this week's TWAB/TWID is going to talk about essentially this archetype of Warden's Law. Now, let me just go back up here and reread this real quick. Players will be more likely to receive ritual engrams upon completion of activities within ritual playlists. Now, this one right here. Secondly, rather than having to wait for the next season, new ritual weapons will be able to be focused on the respective vendors starting as soon as they are added to the game. Are we talking about the same thing? I'm thinking of like ritual weapons. What is the ritual weapon that just dropped on us this past season? That's right. This should have been amazing. Should have been amazing, but it is not. It is not a good weapon. All right. Okay, let me get this right. Rather than having to wait for the next season, new ritual weapons will be able to be focused on the respective vendors starting as soon as they are added to the game. Is my brain, have I been playing too much Remnant here lately? This is a static roll. What are they talking about? Are they talking about the weapons that drop via the playlist, right? Okay, Bungie, you cannot misword this shit. Because when you say ritual weapon, I'm thinking Last Rites. Or what was the glaive last season? What was the glaive last season? Ecliptic Distaff. New ritual weapons. All right, I get it. I see where Bungie could say, no, things like Randy that drops, the vendor weapons that drop, those can be called ritual weapons. But the technical term for ritual weapons are the weapons you get directly from the vendor in that associated playlist, okay? So I was confused here because I'm like, are you going to be able to focus ritual weapons now? Why would that even matter? It's a static roll, right? Ritual weapons are unique weapons with static rolls being offered in a given season that can be obtained by one of the core vendors, Commanders of Violet, or Shax, or the Drifter. There you go. What they are referring to right here, rather than having to wait for next season, new ritual weapons will be able to be focused on the respective vendors starting as soon as they are added to the game. So what that means is the page where you can actually go and focus the weapons at the vendors, okay? Instead of it being a season behind, you could do it for those weapons within that given season. Let us continue. New Masterwork material caps. Have you ever lost a stack of golf balls, aka Ascendant Shards, because you ran out of space with the Postmaster, or found yourself hitting currency caps and unable to reset your reputation rank? We have changes coming to help alleviate some of these issues. Starting in Season 22, we will be tripling the caps for Ascendant Shards and Alloys, and doubling the cap for Enhancement Prisms. What? Oh my God. Bungie, what did you have to do to make this happen? There's no way. Last gen consoles have to be getting cut soon. There's no way. 30 golf balls, fellas, you can hold. 30 basketballs, you could hold. And 100 prisms. We're going to be swimming in resources. Now, hold on. Notes. There's no change to upgrade modules or enhancement cores. Now, a big reason we are making this change is to remove the risk of losing these materials at the postmaster. Now that the caps have been increased, we are removing the ability for these items to go to the postmaster. If players already have a full stack of any of these materials in their inventory, moving forward, these will behave like Glimmer, and the player won't receive any more of the items until they are below the cap. Before making this update, we looked at the total number of players that would be affected by this particular change, and it turns out that less than 1% hold more than the new increased caps of these materials at their postmaster. In other words, 99% of the player base will benefit from having higher inventory caps. Okay, hold on, Bungie. If you're taking the stats right now, obviously, we're not sitting with max cap of items, right? We're past the annual expansion. We always top off. Okay, if you're like me, you top off items before a season. You definitely top off items before an annual expansion. Now, is this going to be more manageable? Sure. But what this means is Ascendant Alloys and Ascendant Shards, you're technically going to be holding 10 less than what you would currently. As in, you can hold 10 in your inventory. You could hold 10 in your postmaster on each character for a total of 40. So this is 10 less across the board here. So we're actually losing 10. Now, that doesn't mean that the players currently holding currency at the postmaster will lose them when the new season arrives. While new currency drops won't be added to the postmaster anymore. Let's make one thing crystal clear. The Ascendant Shards, Ascendant Alloys, and Enhancement Prisms currently at their postmasters will remain until they're claimed. All right. This is the olive branch. Bungie saying, hey, listen, we know we're about to just, screw you over, but you can still take advantage of this. So for now, treat this thing like a 401k, fellas. Put the Ascendant Alloys, Shards, and Enhancement Prisms in the postmaster. Don't touch it. Don't do nothing. Max out all of your postmaster there with those materials. And then next season, you can proceed to pick up materials via drops, and it will go into your inventory. Listen, this is savings. You may be thinking, this sounds nuts, Cross. Why would anyone want to save this many resources? You never know. It could be literally the difference. It could be the difference in that expansion, whatever it may be. Now, the changes announced today are a precursor to some larger economy changes that we will reveal in the near future. Our goal is to keep Destiny 2's economy in a healthy state and avoid any possibility of currency's inflation. That's the reason we regularly examine storage limits and costs, adjusting them in some cases, like we did in early 2023 with Iron Banner, Trials of Osiris, Crucible, and Gambits. All right, there you go, guys. That's your article.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.